Congratulations and well done. You've made it to the Easter holidays. Hi, it's Martin, and this is a message for all my fellow parents out there. You know that I love to check in on you when it comes to the holidays to see how things are going. So, how are things? I mean, here we are, nearing the end of the third month of the year. The first quarter of the year is pretty much done. 25% of this year is done. And in fact, we're now at the end of the second term of the academic year. When our children go back after Easter, there is one term left. One term left. They get that half term at the end of May, but it's one term before the summer holidays. So, how is it going? The reason I ask is, look, if you've got that balance, or you've been making really good progress towards balance, and by that I mean work-wise, you're feeling more calm, feeling more confident, feeling more in control of your time, of your workload. You're not scrambling around trying to do 97 things all at the same time, all by last Friday. You're looking at work differently. You're looking at your role at work differently. You're approaching your workload differently. You're focusing your time differently. You're building your daily habits differently. All so that you can feel calm, confident, in control, and make an even bigger difference at work in less hours. And setting those boundaries so that when you finished work, you've finished work. And you can feel good about what you've done. Not get to the end of the day with a to-do list of 800 items, you having a stormer of a day, knocking 200 things off the list, but still beating yourself up because there's 600 things still on the list. You're looking at it differently. And you can close down at the end of the day and it doesn't spill on over into family life. You're getting home earlier so that you're not just spending quality time at the holiday times like now, but every evening and at the weekends. You're not bringing the work home. You're not worrying and stressing about work at home. You're able to spend more quality time and have a deeper relationship with your children and your partner. Do more exciting things when you're present as a family. This is the kind of balance that we're talking about. So if you've been making great strides towards that, amazing, right? I'm in your corner. I am championing you. I am cheering you on, because that's kind of what we want, isn't it? We want work that's purposeful, where we're making a difference, but we also want that to be able to switch off so that we can actually spend time with the ones that we love and live a life outside of work. What do they say? Work to live, not live to work. So if you've been making great progress on this, fantastic. No matter when you started that commitment to do that, whether that was at the beginning of the academic year, back in September, the beginning of this year in January, or even at the last half term in February. Well done, congratulations. Keep it up. And if at any point you start struggling, or you fall off the wagon, or it just feels like it's getting a little bit out of control, then just know that I'm right here to help and support you. So, with that said, what about everybody else? So what if you haven't got that balance? What if instead of work feeling like you're calm, you're confident, you're in control, that you've set your boundaries, what if it's still feeling stressful, overwhelming, exhausting, out of control? What if you are still looking at 97 things, trying to get them all done at the same time by last Friday? What if it is absolutely relentless and you're approaching it as if the to-do list is finite, like you're going to get to the end of it, rather than realizing it's never ending and the only one that can take control of it is you? Is that your work life? Are you sat there hoping, wishing and praying that it's going to get better? Hey, I know I did for a great many years when I was climbing that corporate ladder. It doesn't work like that. We're the ones that gotta take control of it. Gotta start owning our own life. But does it feel that out of control? And you don't have the boundaries. So your only strategy is to work harder and longer to try and get through a never-ending to-do list. So you're working in the evenings, you're working at the weekends, you're working on the holidays, and even if you're not physically working, you're still thinking about it. You're still worried about it. You're still stressing about it. You're still trying to figure it out. So when you are with your family, you're not really with your family. You're not present. You're not enjoying it. And then you feel guilty and resentful and all of that. And as a result of all of this, you don't have that depth of experience, of relationship, of time with your children, with your partner, as a family. Your health, if you were being honest, is deteriorating, and you know it. Is this your life? Is this how it feels? Because look, I know we've had so many opportunities to step up and go, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to do something about this, and be that at the start of that academic year, start of this year. With every holiday that comes along, we do this reflection, and if you haven't quite made that commitment yet, it's like, here's your new chance to make that commitment. And here we are, 2/3 of the way through the academic year, a quarter of the way through this year. If you're hoping, wishing and praying that things are going to be different, they're not going to be different. If anything, they're just going to get worse. There's going to be more stuff to do, and you're just going to lose out on more stuff. You're going to miss out on precious moments. And if your children are small, if they're still in their young years, oh God, that is so precious, because they grow up way too quickly. Look, if that's you, I need you to do one thing. Scratch that. You need you to do one thing. Your children need you to do one thing. Your partner needs you to do one thing. Your family, your future needs you to do one thing right now. And that is get honest. Get honest about how life is. Like Tom Bilyeu from one of my favorite motivational talks there, and I've said it a million times, maybe the most important thing is, what do you think about yourself when you're by yourself? So this Easter, spend some time by yourself thinking about life, thinking about how you truly feel about work, how you feel about your family, how you feel about you, how you feel about your life right now, and how it's being run, and how you don't feel in control of anything. And we all need you to get deeply honest with it. Not, oh, I don't like it. We need you to feel something deeper. We need you to get disturbed by it. We need you to get uncomfortable about it, frustrated with it, even angry with it. We need you to have that sense of feeling that is deep, that means enough's enough. I refuse to live like this anymore. Because that depth of feeling is going to get you to that point. And at that point, you're going to do something about it. If you don't genuinely feel disturbed by your situation right now, you're just going to carry on, even though you don't like it. But spending some moments just to go deep and just realize just how frustrated you are, and just how much you know that you're missing out on, and that you know you're better than this, and that your family deserve better than this, that you deserve better than this. That's the depth of feeling that we need, that you need, in order to take some action. So I guess the question really is, what's holding you back? What is it? What's keeping you stuck? Why haven't you made the improvements? And I'm not talking about, I don't have the time, I'm too busy. What is it What are you afraid of? Yeah, that's what I said. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid that you're not good enough? That it won't work? That you couldn't possibly look at things differently or do things differently? Have you kidded yourself that if you were to reduce your hours, that you couldn't possibly get as much done? You couldn't make as much difference? And if you don't do that, then you'll be marked down in your performance review. And if you get marked down in your performance review, then you won't get your pay rise, you won't get your bonus, and you'll be first out in the next restructure. Is that what you're afraid of? I know I was for a great many years. Or have you just kidded yourself? Do you believe that because you're at a certain level, you're a supervisor or a manager or a leader, managing director, head of a department, head of a division, an executive, or the business owner? Do you believe that being that and the salaries that accompany that you can't possibly have balance? That this is just the way it is? Is that what you've tricked yourself into thinking? I can tell you right now, that's BS. That is BS. That is just a story that you've created. Because it is absolutely possible to have balance. It is absolutely possible to make a massive difference, a bigger difference than you're making right now, and being a better leader than you are right now, in less working hours, and have better health, physical health, mental health, emotional health, have a better quality of relationship with your family, have greater experiences with your family, more quality time. It is entirely possible for you to have that. You've just got to look at things differently, look at your role at work differently, approach your workload differently, focus your time differently, and build the habits that keep all of that in check. And none of this requires massive shifts. These are simple things that you can do. But of course, if you don't know them, you can't do them. And very often we kid ourselves when it all feels out of control. We feel like it would take something cosmic and massive and complicated to unravel it all. But it's just not. And in my journey over my 20 years corporate career and then coming out of that career, it was one of the massive eureka moments. That there is just simple stuff we're not taught. We're not taught it at school or university or in our inductions or in our management and leadership training of actually how to go about this. Unfortunately, it almost takes us to fall over before we then get exposed to this. I don't want that for you. You don't want that for you. Your family doesn't want that for you. So look, this Easter, just get honest. Get that depth of feeling that means you'll come out of Easter saying, enough is enough. I'm not prepared to live like this anymore. This is an absolute must. I must address this balance. Non-negotiable. Come out of Easter with that depth of passion, with that depth of certainty. And here's the thing. Because I know you're also going to be worried about the fact you don't have all the answers. You have no clue how to go about that. That comes next. Of course you don't have all the answers. How could you possibly have all the answers? How could you possibly have all the questions? You haven't done this before. You've been using the same pattern of behaviors and strategies, and they've got you this far, and that is amazing. But when you get this far, you just need to refine those strategies that you've got, because working harder and longer is not the way to go. Look, at best, you're going to be miserable, and you're going to live a shadow of the life that you could, both professionally and with your family. At worst, well, you don't want to go there. So this Easter, spend some time getting honest, getting that depth of feeling, and come out of Easter with absolute conviction that you're going to make the changes, that you're going to make the improvements, and you're willing to seek out those answers so that you can improve your life for you and your family. Thank you for joining me. I truly wish you a happy Easter with your family. I truly hope that you can be present for this Easter, because it's magical. And the younger your children are, the more magical it is. And you have the ability to make it magical. So I truly wish that for you. And I wish you some quiet time to get honest and come out of Easter with that conviction to do better and be better. And I'll be right there with you. Thanks for joining me. Happy Easter.